Hi again. Since we discussed instructional designing in the last video, let me begin this one by introducing a very powerful instructional strategy. This is called modeling. Again and Koshak in 2001 defined modeling as an instructional strategy in which the teacher demonstrates a new concept or approach to learning, and students learn by observing. Children often learn by observing, you know that, right? If you have kids at home, they often want to dress up like their mothers and fathers and pick up their glasses and fix them on their tiny noses, or tumble on the floor trying to fit into their parents' shoes. My younger one does that a lot. I remember who I modeled when I was a little child. My experience was not a conscious one, but I did mimic my English teacher's way of speaking and also picked her accent. If you reflect a little bit, you will realize that most human beings learn by observing and then parroting what they observed. Research also shows that modeling can be successfully used to promote positive behavior across disciplines and at any age. A school teacher can use modeling using audio, visual, kinesthetic, tactile instructional techniques. Let us look at 5 ways in which you can use modeling as an instructional strategy. First is disposition, where a teacher expresses her personal values or ways of thinking and models personal characteristics for her learners to observe and mimic. For example, the teacher assigns the task of designing an eco-friendly building to the students. She may tell them what features that building must include and also draw a building to give the students an idea of what it should look like. The next modeling strategy we'll discuss is task and performance. This strategy requires the teacher to demonstrate the task which the students must do later. This form of instruction helps the teacher set clear expectations with less chances of error. For example, if the teacher wants the students to create a goal sheet, the teacher may create a goal sheet for herself and show it to the learner so that they can create their sheets on similar lines. The third strategy is metacognitive modeling, where the teacher prompts the learners to think on their own by observing information and data provided by the teacher, then analyzing and processing statements and making their own conclusions. The teacher's job here is to stimulate their thinking by asking questions while sharing her own thought process. Let's look at an example. A teacher has to discuss the concept of erosion in the class. Now the teacher shows the learners a few pictures of a rock getting eroded gradually because of the sea waves. Now as the teacher progresses, she keeps asking the class questions on what's happening to the rock and why. Through this, she stimulates her learners' thinking and drives them to arrive at a logical conclusion. The fourth strategy is called the scaffolding technique, where the teacher simply models a task and then asks the student to do it at a pace comfortable to them. For example, the teacher wants the students to write a letter. She will give them the format for writing a letter, talk to them about who they are writing to, when and where are they writing, and will also write a sample letter for them, and then ask them to write a letter on a certain topic at a later time. And the last modeling strategy we shall discuss is student-centered. In the student-centered approach, the teacher becomes a facilitator and encourages other students to model an expected behavior or a particular thought process. A typical example of this strategy is a merry-go-round activity with a purpose. The students all move in a circle, interacting with each other, discussing, asking questions and responding to probing questions on an interesting topic that the teacher wants to discuss in the class. Do you think you can use these strategies to improve your instruction?